It is my pleasure to now introduce Hila Levy from Beit Shean, Sveta Voifovich from St. Petersburg, and Cindy Atias from our very own Cleveland. Our connection with Sveta may be a little spotty, so please be patient if she starts to have any technical issues. I'd first like to ask each of our wonderful cooks to introduce yourself, share your Charoset recipe, where it comes from, and what makes it so special. Hila, you may begin.
I'm very happy to be here. I'm a little bit excited. It's my first time at Zoom and live on Facebook ever. So my name is Hila. I'm married to Asaf and I have 4 kids. I'm from Beit Shean in Israel, and I'm going to teach you my grandfather's special recipe for Charoset. My family came from Morocco, so it's a Moroccan recipe. It's my first time I'm making Charoset. It's the first time I'm going to do Leil Seder at home because the coronavirus. Usually we all do the Seder together. I have a very big family. We all come to my mom's house and all the niece and my nephew and my brother, everybody together, like a very big table with lots of food and fun and laugh. And this year is going to be very, very different. But we're going to do it fun and to do it happy and take the good things from the new situation we have. So I'm going to teach you now my recipe. It's a little bit different from what you know. So let's start. The ingredients are a big one container of date plate. Okay, you can find it, and I think you can find it at Amazon too. We have ½ cup chopped walnut and ½ cup ground almonds, ½ teaspoon of cinnamon, and ¼ cup of non-alcoholic red wine. We use it for the kiddush. In Israel, we call it tirosh. In Cleveland, I think you call it kedem. It's the same. So you take the container and you put everything in a big bowl. Just put everything in. It's a very, very easy recipe. Every year, my grandfather used to make it for us, and we just wait for it all the year. You know, the Moroccan people don't have a special cup or a spoon for cooking. We just use our hand and our eyes. So we put everything together, mix it a bit. Okay. Now you should put the tirosh, kedem, whatever, non-alcoholic. It's important. We don't want the people fall asleep at the start of the Seder. We need it to be a little bit sticky, but not very much, okay? Now you can see it's very easy. And now it's the fun part. You can take the almonds or the walnuts, put it on a plate. I just put it here. And now I just roll it for a little ball. And now we can just roll it for a little balls, okay? Like this. Like this. And we should put it on the fridge for a night and it's come harder. And then my tip is to put it with lettuce. In Israel, lettuce, it's the maror. You put it inside and just eat it. It's like heaven. It's a very, very good one. And that's it. It's very easy. As you know, in Israel, we have many different of ethnic groups. My mother-in-law is Persian, and in Persian they make it they make the charoset from pomegranate. I guess each culture have the thing who have the fruit or the main thing they make the charoset with from their country. In Morocco they have many dates, or in Persian they have many pomegranates, so they make the charoset from this. And in Israel you can find many recipes for this. This is our special. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Hila. Sveta, if you could go ahead and share with us a little bit more about your recipe.
Hi, everybody. First of all, I want to say hello. It's an amazing opportunity to say hello to the whole world and to see you. I want to tell you that take care, please be careful. Now during this period, we should be together, more strong. Okay, my name is Sveta. I'm from St. Petersburg. I was born in Jewish family. From one side, I with my older brother, we knew about our Jewish roots. But from the other side, my parents every time told me that I can't speak about it with my friends, on the streets, in our school. So my real Jewish life began from Jewish camp when I was 10 years old, and it changed my life. As a result, I graduated from the Jewish school. I lived in Israel for 5 years. I worked many years in Orthodox religion community here in St. Petersburg. And now more than 5 years, I work in Jewish Agency for Israel. I'm coordinator of Northwest Russia. I work with Distance City. We have an amazing community there. We have many activities there. And that's why I want to say thank you to our Cleveland family. Thank you to our Cleveland friends. Because of your support and because of your partnership, we have opportunity to live like Jewish people. So thank you from my distant city, from them. Thank you for me personally. Love you guys. Okay, what about my Charoset? To be honest, my Charoset is not Russian. Actually, because my mom from Poland and my father from Belarus, White Russia. That's why I think that my Charoset is unique, because it's mix of Charosets. What about ingredients? 1 or 2 apples, 16 walnuts, 15 almonds, 5 dates, 1 pea ginger, a teaspoon cinnamon, honey to taste, 3 teaspoon or spoon red wine. Here in Russia, we add red wine, no limit, as we said. Okay, what about recipes? Separately chop the apples, walnuts, and almonds, blender, then add the dates. And almonds in the blender, grate ginger and apples in the, and add a little cinnamon. We put it all in a bowl and add red wine and honey. Mix it, Charoset is ready. Yesterday I did it with my little boy, with my little son, is Daniel. And this is my photos. I think that it's very beautiful, and except that it's very delicious. It's tasty. You should put it on matzah and eat. Beteavon, приятного аппетита, bon appetit. It's fantastic.
Thank you, Sveta. Thank you, Sveta. Now we're going to turn the camera over to our very own Cleveland, Cindy Atias.
Hi, Cleveland friends. My name is Cindy Atias. I have been involved with the Federation as the Partnership 2000 chair. So I got to spend a lot of time in Beit Shean, and I consider it the people of Beit Shean my friends. And we often have people from Beit Shean come to our house and stay at our house. And so we have a great relationship with them, and it's a lot of fun. My Charoset recipe, I learned at Gan and Gill Nursery School, and probably continued to make it when I went to Agnon. I think we made troughs as it, troughs. A tradition in our family is to have the children make the Charoset, so it's a very simple recipe that anybody can make. It's made with very few ingredients, so you want each ingredient to be very good. And I professionally am a health coach, and I work with people who have chronic diseases, and I work in their homes to help them integrate foods into their life that'll make them feel better. And I also work with professional athletes in their homes, and I prepare food for them so they perform at a higher level. Unfortunately, right now, we don't have a lot of basketball or baseball going on, but that'll give us more time to focus on our families during Pesach. Okay, so my recipe, we want to start with walnuts, and being the health coach that I am, can't help myself but talk about each ingredient and how good this is for you. It's very healthy. So we've got the walnut, and as you can see, walnuts look like brains if you want to look at them, and they're very high in omega-3, so can't have too many walnuts. Helps improve brain health. So we take these walnuts, take about a cup of them, and we chop them up. You don't have to chop them up too thoroughly. We're just chopping them up in order to release the oils. So we're going to pop them in a frying pan, and while these fry up very lightly, it releases the oils. We're going to go to the apples. You can cut the apples in all different ways. So what's so interesting about this recipe, a Charoset recipe, it's just such a conflicting flavor and texture. I mean, we've got crunchy, we've got mushy, and we've got, sometimes it can come out soft, sour, and it can come out sweet, and it's acidy, and it's fragrant, and it's spicy, and it's muddy, and it's ugly, but it tastes so good. So you can either take apples, peel the apples, you can slice them up like so. If you like your Charoset chunky, just chunk it up. Makes it, if you have children, you can have them grate the apples, which is kind of fun. It's very easy, and it's a little safer for kids. We prefer to have granny green apples. They're sour, and I really like the change, the sour and of the green apple, and it's very crunchy, and it makes it nice with the when you grate it up, it gives a really nice texture. So we pop those into the bowl with magic of TV or magic of internet. More. We add the walnuts, which have been toasted. We then go to and the apples, of course, apple a day keeps the doctor away. And these days we do not want any doctors in our house. It always also sitting around a lot. It got a lot of fiber, so it's very good for weight loss. It's got soluble fiber. They're wonderful. Then we want to add some lemon. Lemon, vitamin C. We need our vitamin C. And this is always to taste, and that's the cool part about Charoset. If you're working with your kids, it's kind of nice to have them taste it as it comes along. They can taste the raw walnut versus the toasted walnut and see if it's any different. We have got our brown sugar. We have our wine. No, it's not so complicated. We have our cinnamon. We're like the Israelis. We don't measure. Always a pinch of salt. Brings out all the flavors. So what do we got? We got the apples, the walnuts, the brown sugar, cinnamon. Cinnamon's so good for you. You could either just use it this way, or if you want some fresh cinnamon, you can take it and you can grate it. I love this grater. This grater actually belonged to my grandmother, Mimi Charlotte. And I always try to use it during the holidays. I use it every day, but when I use it during the holidays, it's with intention. But the cinnamon brings like a beautiful fragrancy. It's also an anti-inflammatory, and it's naturally sweet. The wine is very good for your blood. It's also rich in antioxidants, and it helps reduce blood clots. We don't want any blood clots during these days. I've got a child and a dog walking in right now, so you may end up hearing them. So you take this, you mix it all together. I have my dog just walked in. If it's too crunchy for you, you can take another little handy dandy implement and smush it all together to your desired consistency. You taste it. Perfect. Have a wonderful Seder.
Thank you, Cindy. It's so nice to see that we have viewers who have joined us today from all over the world to participate in this event. Also, before we move forward, if anyone has any questions, any of the participants have any questions, feel free to post your questions on Facebook or in our chat. We'd love to hear any questions you may have. It was so nice to meet Cindy, Hila, and Sveta and hear all about you, your lives, and your different recipes. As you show us your finished Charoset, can you please share with us your favorite Passover tradition and how you will be celebrating Passover a little bit differently this year? Let's start with Hila.
I didn't hear the question. I have 4 kids at home, and my husband is a police officer, and he's a necessary people now, so I'm alone with the kids.
Oh, wow.
So if you can ask again.
Okay. Hila, can you please share with us your finished Charoset recipe, and if you can share with us your favorite Passover tradition and how this year you'll be celebrating Passover a little differently.
Okay, so as I told you, as I told before, each year we do the Leil Seder, all the family together. And I think what I like the most, that we take the Seder plate, the big one, and we sing in everyone together, apart from the Haggadah. We sing it together with, and my father goes one by one from the biggest till the smallest, and he put the ball around his head, and we sing, Bivhilu yatzanu mimitzrayim, alach manya v'nechorim, and he take it around our head, from the biggest until the smallest, even if it's a baby. And everybody sings together, and we laugh about it if someone was a bad boy this year. So we do like a hard on his head like hard one, and everybody's laughing, and it's the most fun part in Leil Seder. This year it's not going to happen, but it's a special opportunity for us to do something special for our small family and to teach our children a new tradition. And you know, it's a different, but it will be okay. It will be okay. It will be fun. It's a little bit exciting to buy everything new and think how I'm going to organize the table and everything. So it's going to be good. And this is my finished charoset. It's a small ball. You put it on fridge for night, and tomorrow it's the amazing thing you ever taste.
Wow, Hila, thank you so much for sharing with us such a beautiful tradition.
Thank you.
I have a question for you that came in from one of our participants. Do you cook the dates in the Moroccan recipe, and how many dates do you use?
No, we took a ready container date. I think you can buy it in Cleveland, but you can squeeze dates too, like squeeze it very, very hard, and then use it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for sharing with us, Hila. Now, let's move on to Sveta.
One of my favorite Pesach tradition is to eat a matzah with, condensed milk. You know what is it? Milk with sugar. So you put condensed milk on matzah. It's very tasty, delicious, like cake. This is one of my favorite tradition. The first tradition, I have so many work, and thank God we have Passover, so I clean my flat. I have an opportunity to clean my flat and check everything. What is it in this year? I did not buy matzah. I had no opportunity to do it, but I think that it will be okay. And somebody helps me. Please, somebody helps me. Send me matzah. I want to eat my matzah with condensed milk. So this is a unique of my Pesach this year. That's it.
Thank you so much for sharing with us today, Sveta. Cindy, we're going to move on to you.
The Charoset here, and I'll show you the finished product. We got to have a lot of lemon juice. We need a lot of vitamin C these days. And then we like our Charoset more of like on the chunkier side. So here we go. This is the finished product. You see it? Kind of far away from the camera. There we go. So this year, I'm excited to focus just like on the Seder. Usually we have a huge Seder, like 70 people huge Seder. And often it turns into like a lot about the food and just keeping semblance. So this year we're just gonna have our family in our house, the core family, and there's just gonna be able to sit at our kitchen table, not at our dining room table. And we're gonna have a lot of fun and laugh and really dive into the Seder, dive into the story, and with less focus on the meal, we're gonna go back to basics, which I feel like everything is these days. It's just, we're really down to the basics. And we'll tell stories and we're gonna laugh a real lot. We don't even have a kid in the house to make the Charoset, so that's usually our tradition, is to have a kid around make Charoset. No kids around. And it's going to be very unusual not having, grandparents and aunts and uncles and others to bring in their childhood memories. But I think we're going to grow from it, and it'll be a very special Seder for many reasons. That's it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Cindy, for sharing with us today. Now, I want to turn this over to our viewers for any questions that you may have. Please share any questions you have with us. Okay, we have a question for Hila. Hila, do you know what is in the pomegranate charoset that you have mentioned earlier?
Okay, so asking my husband why you asking me. So he says pomegranate, walnuts, ginger, and almond. Yeah, and that's all. They mix it together. They like they squeeze the pomegranate and use it like I use the tirosh. So they use the pomegranate juice. They mix everything together and use it, eat it.
Okay, Hila, thank you for sharing that with us. Sveta, a question for you. Is using condensed milk on matzah a tradition that's very found often in Moscow, in Russia? Or is that a personal tradition?
It's personal tradition.
Mm-hmm. How did that
during experience
start?
I just test some things, and I decided that it will be my tradition, my own, and I'm sharing with you with it.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. Personal traditions are always very, very, very important. We have another question. We're going back to Hila for a minute. Hila, do you use both pomegranate and pomegranate juice in the recipe?
No, you took the pomegranate and you use this juice. You squeeze it like a fresh one. And then you put the walnuts and the almonds and the ginger, everything together, and then you squeeze everything together with the pomegranate.
Okay, thank you, Hila. We will share all of these recipes for everyone to screenshot and enjoy after the presentation. I want to take this opportunity to thank Hila, Sveta, and Cindy for sharing your time and a small part of your traditions. It is amazing to see how we all celebrate the same holiday differently. I cannot wait to try some of these new things at my own Seder. There are a lot of great ways to be connected virtually within our community during this time. Women in Philanthropy will be hosting a virtual book club on Tuesday, April 21st at 7:30 p.m. We will be reading and discussing Here All Along, Finding Meaning, Spirituality, and the Deeper Connection to Life in Judaism by Sarah Hurwitz. We will be posting the invitation on our Facebook page soon. The Federation is looking to support you through this challenging time. If you or someone you know is struggling in this increasingly difficult time, please contact Access Jewish Cleveland at 216-292-4636 or accessjewishcleveland.org. We have arranged for a therapist from the Jewish Family Services Association to be on call from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Before we end, I'd like everyone to take a moment and place in the chat box something that they are very excited about for this Passover. For example, I am very excited to spend quality time with my children at the Seder, our very own Seder, just us, for the first time. So if everyone can please share with us something that they are looking forward to. Thank you, and I hope you all continue to wash your hands, practice social distancing, and make delicious charoset.